Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and in today's episode I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 things that you can do to your e-commerce website in order to sell more and increase revenue. Now, again, apologies, it's another live episode, and today, if you didn't know, is Amazon Prime Day. And it's been a hectic one here. You know, I've been working on stuff in the business, and we had the webinar, and I've only just got around to actually being able to record a video for you right now. Now, on the topic of, like I said, Prime Day, I figured it would be a good time to talk about these top 5 things which you can implement into your own website in order to increase your revenue per visitor visit. Now, this information which I have right now, I'm just not making this up, but it's from a Qubit meta-analysis that was run on 6,700 online experiments, which is a substantial amount. That's a decent sort of survey type, a decent sample size on which you can garner your evidence and your results and base some facts amongst what your findings are. So with that said, if you are interested, it is a little bit dry, I'm going to be honest. It's not the most exciting read in the world, but it is there's key points in it which are very, very interesting, especially if you are an online seller, and that's what we'll be covering in today's video. But if you want to have a look at it yourself, you don't believe the things that I'm showing you, the link is in the description down below. It's a PDF. You click the link, it just opens up in your browser, super simple, and you can have a read through. It is 21 pages long, and there's some pretty graphs in there and tables which highlight quite nicely what we'll be talking about. But with that said, let's get started. So firstly, we'll start with number 5 and work our way up to the things that will make the biggest impact. So starting at the lowest, number 5 is product recommendations. Now, it doesn't really get much more simple than that. It's suggesting other products to purchase, whether that be your upsells, your cross-sells, or just your related items. These can be dynamite on your website, and they do something which, when done well and when implemented properly, increase cart checkout spend. And that is key, because if you're going to have a customer get all the way through the buying journey and get to the checkout, and you're going to actually get them to hand over their card details and hit purchase, let's break that down. They've had to take a lot of affirmative actions in order to get to that stage. Now, rather than trying to win more customers to do that, if you could just increase that average basket spend, you can see some significant increase in your bottom line results. But you don't necessarily need more customers, you just need them to spend more. And that's when utilizing product recommendations the right way. And like I said, if you're having related items, make sure they're related. If you're doing upsells, make sure it's a related upsell. If I mean, like, no point if someone's buying, I don't know, a handbag, and you're trying to upsell them, you want to try and upsell them to a more expensive handbag, a bigger handbag. You don't want to try and upsell them a pen. That's unrelated. So when product recommendations are done well, they can see, let's say the average was a 0.4% uplift. That doesn't sound a lot, but the compounding nature of all these top 5 things is what makes the difference. And all of them are super easy to do. Nearly every single website platform like Magento and Shopify and a whole host of others have the ability for you to be able to implement tools or code in order to make these things a reality. Now, what I will say is all these were done through A/B tests, and the usual things which you probably think are important when A/B testing, like page colors, button styles, banner images, all of those had very little, if not a negative effect on revenue per visitor. These are the top 5 things which actually made an impact. So number 5, product recommendations. Number 4, abandonment recovery. Now, this is perhaps the more tricky ones one of the more tricky ones to implement, because those people who do cart abandonment well do it basically, in order to see an uplift on this, you need to do abandonment well. And some people think they do abandonment well, but they really don't. In fact, I'm going to shout out a company called Cart Recover. Again, I'll put the link in the description. They do cart abandonment specialization very well. John over there, definitely worth speaking to him. You know, drop him an email and he'll have the conversation with you and see if he feels that Cart Recover is right for you and can help you out. But that same thing, it's that step before the checkout, when they've put things in the cart and they've just not handed over the details. And that happens to so many businesses, and most of them don't even know it's happening. And if they knew how much money they were losing in that cart checkout bit, they'd be taking a much more proactive approach to it. And I think you'll see much more news, much more information about cart abandonment, because it's a big thing, and there's definitely room for improvement on that. And by room for improvement, we mean you can either do like pop-up box. You know, there's software now which can detect when a mouse moves to either the back button or the cross, and it can pop up with a 10% pop-up when, you know, save 10% off if you check out now. Things like that, and things of that nature. And also, you know, retargeted emails and all sorts of things. Abandonment recovery, it's not the easiest one to implement, but it can have big results. In fact, when done well, that can have a 1.1% uplift. Now, again, like I said, we're talking, these numbers might not sound a lot, but over a period of time, the numbers add up very, very significantly, especially when you take into account what your current conversion rate probably is on your e-commerce website. If you've got a conversion rate of like 5%, you are smashing it. I know websites that are less than 1%. So these sort of percentages can make a big difference. Number 3 is urgency. And again, this is the thing, is like when we're talking about buttons and colors, it's all the pretty stuff and it's all a bit hairy-fairy, and largely it doesn't make a big difference. Buyers are a lot more savvy these days. They know what the buy button is. They know, you know, where things are on websites. We're living in a pretty advanced society when it comes to shopping online. We're quite developed at it now. We don't need, you know, button confusion is becoming less of a thing. Instead, it's much more about psychological behavior and tuning into a human's psychological key points in order to trigger that urge to purchase. And that is exactly what urgency does. And urgency is basically countdown timers. You want, you know, if you're running a sale or a promotion, whatever it may be on your website, you want it to appear like it is for a limited time and they don't have a long time to get that deal. I mean, think about Amazon Prime Day. You have a day of which to make the purchases that you want. And even then, they're running lightning deals throughout the day where you may only have 15 minutes to buy the product that you want. And these products can sometimes sell out in seconds because they have people waiting to click that button. Urgency is incredibly powerful. And again, countdown timers, there's so many of them out there, super easy to implement onto websites. And again, it just, you know, you could use it as a cutoff period for same day delivery or next day delivery. You know, order within the next 3 hours to get your item tomorrow. Things like that create that sense of urgency. And according to Qubit, that could lead to a 1.5% uplift. You've got nothing to lose. Next up, number 2 is social proof. And again, this shouldn't come as a surprise. It's like reviews. It's informing others of other customers' behaviors, informing your current users of what others have found or have experienced with your product or service. Amazon do this incredibly well. If anyone's ever been on the Amazon website and bought something, I'm sure you have. You will have checked the star rating and then read some of the reviews underneath the actual product description, right down the bottom, but you will have gone there. And you will have seen how many 5-star reviews there are, seen how many 1-star reviews there are, read one of each, and made your own judgment. And that is the thing, because you know you have confidence that someone else has bought this product and has left a review, and they are unbiased. You know, especially now, there's no such thing as the review, the fake reviews on Amazon. They certainly try their best to stop happening. So largely on Amazon, the review genuine by people who have bought or used the product themselves. You can trust them. They've got no point to lie to you or to try and sell you a product. It's just totally unbiased reviews, and that is the key. So again, you've got so many, you know, software tools out there now, like Trustpilot, FIFO, even like Google Trusted Sites is another one. Even Facebook reviews. Utilize your current user base, your current customer base, to give that social proof. To ask them for you know, a review. If you don't already ask them or chase up after a purchase, make sure everything's great. Start doing that, and then implement some of those onto your website, on the product page, and give that customer who's new to the site that feeling that yes, this product is right for them. You're a good company, and that can lead to a 2.3% uplift, which is, now we're getting into the interesting numbers. And finally, the number one thing that you can do on your e-commerce website today in order to increase your sales and turnover is scarcity. Now, again, we're tapping into the psychology of buyers, and it's very similar to urgency, this one, but scarcity. It is last one remaining, last two in stock, that sort of thing. And regardless of whether you actually have 100 in stock, if you can put on your website that, you know, down to the last 5 or last 4, whatever it may be, create that. It also creates a sense of urgency because there's not many left. And it's one of those, buyers are inherently lazy, and if they can put off buying, they will. So scarcity is incredibly powerful, because if they see that you don't have many of them left, they don't want to miss out. You know, if you've ticked all the other boxes for them, it's the right product, the image looks good, they can trust you, the price is right, but you've only got a handful left, they don't want to miss out. Scarcity is incredibly powerful when it comes to selling online, more so than anything else. Like I said, button colors, all that sort of stuff doesn't matter. These top 5 things are the most important, and number 1 is scarcity, which will see a 2.9% uplift in revenue per visitor, according to the Qubit meta-analysis. So again, there's tools out there that can help you do this. You know, quantity managers and stock managers, which can take your actual available stock and show available a different number. Create that sense of scarcity, create that sense of urgency. And you can, like I said, if you just implemented like these top 5 things, if you implemented all of them, you would be looking at a potential uplift of over 8% on what your current revenue per visitor is. That is a considerable amount. And even if you took like like I said, with abandonment recovery being one of the more tricky ones to do, if you just did the other 4, you're still looking at a 7% increase. So that is it. That is what I want to share with you today. The top 5 things that you can implement into an e-commerce website and hopefully bring up to an 8% uplift in your revenue per visitor. Those top 5 things, again, we had product recommendations, we had abandonment recovery or cart recover, we have urgency, social proofing, reviews, and scarcity. Think about ways, if you're not doing that right now in your business, think about ways in which you can implement that, and hopefully you will see some noticeable results. Like I said, if you want to find out more about the stuff I've talked about in this episode, check out the link down below to the Qubit meta-analysis. It's a PDF, super easy to read. And also check out Cart Recover. Like I say, if you want more information about cart abandonment and abandonment emails, Cart Recover is definitely some guys to go and check out. Ask for John, tell him Dave sent you. With that said, I hope you found this video useful. If you have, hit that like button. And if you have any questions, let me know again in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them if I can. And if I can, I'll find someone who can for me. With that said, enjoy the rest of your day. Carry on crushing it. I hope you've had a great Prime Day if you are selling online. And I'll catch you, as always, in the next video. Thank you for watching.